Today we thought we'd talk about Seceon. We've had some really good experiences with Seceon in terms of implementations, and we've also been doing a lot of work on it over the last 2 odd years in terms of marketing and awareness out there, and it's been very well received. We're getting some really good traction. So what I thought we'd talk about today is a tiny bit of positioning of Seceon, and then Ryan's going to go into his experience on the implementation side, and then we'll also talk about the other model that's followed at Seceon, and that's the Mssp model. So just in terms of positioning, that's probably the biggest challenge when you go into a prospective customer is, they immediately box you as a SIEM, okay, which Seceon absolutely is not. It's an open threat management platform, and it's effectively about 6 or 7 technologies built into one, and very importantly, for the price of one. So, one of the challenges that Seceon have had is they're not categorized with Gartner. They're not in any particular Gartner category or any particular Gartner Magic Quadrant, because they aren't just a SIEM or just a SOAR. As I mentioned, there are a whole bunch of technologies. So it's very important that get emphasized. And if you can get that point across, I had an experience yesterday talking to someone. They were looking to implement a SIEM, and the minute that I said it's not just this, you get all this other stuff for the same price. Now, that's really where they started listening. So from a positioning perspective, that's quite important. But the beauty about it too is that the proof is always in the pudding, or when the proof of the pudding is in the eating, should I say? And that's what we want to emphasize today, and Ryan can talk a little bit about that. It's not just about all the marketing talk, it's about what it actually physically does. So Ryan, do you want to give us a little bit of a...
Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, so I'll give you some of my experiences with actually implementing Seceon in the local environment. So for instance, we've implemented at a local municipality, and due to the turnkey nature of the Seceon product, where everything's included, all these functionalities such as SOAR, user entity behavior analysis, as well as the supporting backend like Elasticsearch, Kafka, everything like that is contained within the entire solution. There's no third-party products required. So because of that, when we implemented an on-premise solution at the local municipality, the actual installation of the main server that was accomplished in a couple of hours, and then the configuration of the environment just took a couple of days. So the local municipality had the time to value was very short, just a couple of days, and it was very powerful. Not just the centralized logging, but also the flow analysis, the user and entity behavior analysis. And then after 8 days, when the machine learning has built the initial dynamic threat models, they were getting actionable alerts out of hundreds of thousands of threat indicators over there. So the client's very happy because not only are they satisfying their auditors by tracking all these different security events and whatnot, but they are actually effectively dealing with any cybersecurity issues because of the completeness of Seceon. So from an on-premise installation, from a technical point of view, to actually deploy the solution and get it providing value to the client is very rapid. Like I said, a maximum of 8 days.
Okay.
So that's an on-prem solution that we've done, Mark.
Yeah, and I think just to re-emphasize what Ryan said there, the whole thing was almost a non-event. And we got the impression that the users wanted to then roll up their sleeves to start doing configurations and get this new thing they had tuned into their environment and set up. And we had to tell them, actually, no, you don't have to do that because of what it comes with prepackaged, etc.
So and they're a very happy client, Mark. They've let us use their system for demos to other people multiple times.
Yeah.
So they're more than happy to let us go and show it off. They're quite proud of it. Yeah.
Cool. And then the other aspect that we'd like to touch on briefly is the Mssp model. And Seceon has done extremely well overseas, getting MSSPs on board, and them in turn obviously offering the service to the SME market. There's been some great stories out there about MSSPs that have been very stagnant. They've changed their technology stack and incorporated Seceon, and they've suddenly been able to increase their margins and their profitability at no cost to the customer, to their customers, but they've managed to improve their profitability and their margins to a point where they've actually been acquired by these venture capital companies and large organizations that are still on the acquisition trail. And again, here it's all about the ease of use and the 6 or 7 solutions rolled into one. Yeah. So Ryan, in your experience?
Yeah, so I mean, we've got a few partners that are already going and implementing managed SOC services for their clients. And a big drive has been the completeness of the product, you know, so they can go in and offer a complete security solution to their clients. Not your traditional where you just, you know, managing a firewall or managing an antivirus or patches, and you're only covering a certain little area. So our partners are very excited about the complete coverage that Seceon provides, from complete visibility to being even able to take remediation actions automatically on one click. And so we've got a couple of partners that have implemented MSP, and that is even easier to onboard a client than an on-prem, because the central system's already been set up. And our partners are just onboarding clients simply by deploying a couple of collectors. So the time to value for the clients is almost instantaneous. It's just deploying these low maintenance collectors that communicate back centrally. And then the system starts doing its job, generating alerts, analyzing the entire environment for the clients. So you've got a happy client, you've got a happy partner, and happy auditors at the end of the day.
And unhappy hackers.
Unhappy hackers. That's the only people that lose out. Yes.
Just to finish that point that Ryan mentioned about alerts, it's actionable alerts. So it's millions of events crunched down to thousands of prospective breaches and things, all the way down to single or a handful of alerts. So there's no alert fatigue. Anyway,
like an example, Mark, I mean, just to give an example to highlight that, one of the MSSP partners, you know, they manage a whole bunch of small little financial companies from a central place. And, you know, just as an example, one day they had 700,000 events analyzed across their customer base, and that resulted in just 2 alerts that had to be actioned on. So it becomes very efficient for the SOC team as well. And in the managed outsourced SOC team, obviously you can't have a staff of thousands, you know. So you need the Seceon is very valuable because the SOC team can actually concentrate on what's important, and they're not chasing false positives. You know?
No, that's a very good point. I think a stat that's come out of their MSSP experiences so far is that if you're dealing with, if your customer base is the SME market, you need 1 level 2 security technician per 80 customers, which is very, very low and very cost effective. Anyway, I think we can talk about this for ages if we wanted, but the point of these clips is that they are short. So I think we have maxed
Mark as well, last point, the pricing to client. The client knows exactly what they're paying every month.
Yes,
there's no surprise.
It's priced per device, not by earning what's events per second.
Yes.
So yeah, pricing model is very stable as well. Yeah. Okay, let's call that a day. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen, and yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Yep, thank you very much.